streamer refused to pay her parents back for college. That was the title of this video. This one could get very interesting very quickly, but I want to go ahead and just jump straight into this video. I don't even want to do an intro. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Follow me on all these social media platforms up here. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. It'll mean a lot if you were to like, share, comment, or subscribe, because we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. And yeah, let's go ahead and watch this video right here.
Do you think that would be your best? Do you think that would be your best gift towards your dad or your parents to pay back your tuition?
I'm never gonna pay it back though.
Wait, actually?
No, I don't want to. I'm just a bad daughter.
Oftentimes when people seek out to be some sort of content creator, entrepreneur, or beat whatever odds are placed in front of them, you're gonna get a lot of people in your ear telling you, you can't do this, you won't be successful, and ultimately you won't have the full support that you need in order to make the journey happen. But ultimately, if you wanna step out there and take a leap of faith, not like Shamik Moore, but you know, doing what you do and becoming whatever
I ain't gonna lie, Omar, you look like Shamik Moore. I'm not gonna lie to you, brother.
That has to be a journey that you fly solo.
I'm not gonna
That's
lie to
most
you.
people's situations. Now, there are definitely other cases where people have the full support of their family, their parents, their brothers, their loved ones. In an extra Emily situation, she had the full financial support of her parents, and when she made it big, she decided to repay them by not repaying them.
But you could.
Yeah, but I'm not going to.
Do you have student loans?
Yeah, student loans to my parents.
And you're making them pay it off?
No, like my parents paid, and then they're like, pay us back for college, and I just like don't want to. They're fine.
Are you doing it kind of like almost out of spite because you're like, I don't want to because like I can, but I know that you guys don't need it?
Yes, they don't need it. And I'm like,
You don't need it.
Ooh. Her logic and reasoning behind this is not the best, but I'm gonna give her a chance here. So the gist is her parents paid for her tuition in full, all $170,000. And shouts out to them. It took her 2 years longer than it was supposed to, but ultimately she got the job done. The money went to good use. It gave her the opportunity for a life in which they didn't have. Like she literally went Ivy League for Pete's sakes. Most people don't do that. Now,
To what? To Ivy League?
opportunity for a life in which they didn't have. Like she literally
She went to Columbia?
went Ivy League for Pete's sakes. Most people don't do that. Now, the problem that I have with Emily here is that she was on the path of paying it back. She paid about $10,000 back to them, but then she decided to stop. And maybe deciding to stop isn't the worst idea in the world, but her reasoning for stopping is to do it out of spite. Ooh. Spiting your parents vocally is obviously crazy. Like, I don't even think I could verbalize those in words. Like, there's nothing to really say there. And I know she wasn't expecting this sort of interaction or reaction from her fans and her chats and her friends in this situation because they are telling her, go ahead and pay them back. But Emily opens up a little bit more, which we got to open up our social eye and really investigate what's going on here. And she gives us a little bit more detail to the story.
the only reason they want me to pay it back is because I'm a streamer.
Yeah, you should pay it back.
Because I didn't use my degree. So they're like, okay,
How much is it?
170K.
You should pay it back.
I don't want to. I mean, I did pay them 10K, and then I was like, I'm over this. I don't want to pay.
That whole streamer comment.
And she laughs right afterwards. Bro, to be fair, that is like, that makes complete sense. They spent $170,000 on you. You didn't even use the degree that they're spending $170,000 on. Pay them back. That's crazy. Like, what the fuck? That's actually insane. And she could pay it back too, but she just decides not to.
I think I got a problem there. Now, before I go deeper into this and give my true thoughts and opinions, we gotta go back. We really gotta figure out where this started and get more detail on this. I don't want the allegations that we don't do research here on this channel. This isn't Emily's first time talking about this. She's been on different platforms and podcasts and streams talking about how she has to pay her parents back for this handsome amount of money that they dished out to her for her to get a piece of paper.
What does it feel to disappoint your parents?
I have to pay them back for college now because I didn't use my degree.
Wait, really? That's the punishment?
Yeah, they're like, Emily, now that you're a streamer and you don't even use your degree, you have to pay us back for college. I thought they said it as a joke my freshman year of college. They're like, Emily, you're gonna pay us back for college, right? And I'm like, haha, yeah, sure. And then 4 years later, my mom's like, Emily, you know when you agreed to pay us for college?
How much you owe them?
Like,
Columbia is not cheap.
I think I'm paying them $8K every 6 months for 10 years.
That's such a fucking foreigner parent thing.
Yeah.
See, I have
What
problems
type
with
of
them
fucking
even
payment plan is that? 8K for 6 months for 10 years? The fuck is that? What did you invest in, a fucking car? Just, hey, I'm not finna pocket watch her. Even though I probably could run the numbers, look at, you know, her streams, maybe her YouTube videos, and try to run through a number. Try to, but I'm not a pocket watcher.
Years.
That's such a foreigner parent thing.
Yeah.
See, I have problem with them even hanging this over their child's head. Why are we saying that we're putting this money towards this thing that's supposed to be for your future if it comes with all these strings attached? And before they came to some sort of agreement that she ultimately signed up for, was this acknowledged or was this explained? She said in the clip that this was some sort of a joke, but it should have been thoroughly explained to her that, hey, you're about to make a decision that is going to be life-changing for you. You're about to sign up for 170.
That's facts. That should have been much more explained. Venom DJ just followed. Appreciate it, my brother. But Cheeto's funny as fuck. I mean, I'm sure he probably is. I'm gonna check him out off stream. I'm not gonna watch him on stream. I'm gonna check my bro out off stream because GTA roleplays can be, when done right, are funny as hell.
$1,000 in debt for Pete's sake. So before you decide to go to some Ivy League school, which we'll talk about later why I feel like she might have even been pressured into doing it, you should be very aware that we expect you to pay us back. I don't know, maybe that would have helped shape her decision making in this situation. But okay, parents helping you become better and have a better future. Not too bad of a deal. And I know that a lot of people have the caveat of using the degree or not using the degree, but she did use the degree at one point.
Graduated from Columbia with a 3.9 GPA?
Yeah.
But why are you streaming? Why aren't you just being successful?
Because I like streaming more. It's too fun.
Yeah, but you could have went to like an Ivy League, like, couldn't you have been something actually in the world?
Yeah, I had a job and then I got fired because I streamed during work. I had a finance bank job and then I was doing a subathon and I'm not gonna cancel my subathon. I'm not gonna pause the subathon for work. I was like working and then my manager calls me mid-subathon because someone snitched on me and I got fired like a few months later. And now I'm a full-time streamer.
Now, as somebody that's participating in the 9-to-5 side hustle content creation sphere, I won't speak of how I handle situations like this. But I do think it's a little bit silly how she was a little bit lackadaisical with how she was, you know, managing her secret life from her employer, especially the type of job that I assumed that she had. Finance banking is a pretty rigid industry. But hey, success stories don't always make sense. They don't always have the most logical, insane thought process behind them. It wouldn't be rags to riches stories otherwise. Now, everything seemed like it was some sort of non-committal, you know, not serious agreement that they had between Emily and the parents. It was a joke. It'd be nice to get paid back, but if you don't, then it is what it is. But then I saw this one clip and it changed my perspective. Not only did she agree to pay her tuition back in full, it wasn't done in the joking way that we thought before. She actually agreed upon this and then flipped it and said, never mind.
So you don't pay back your tuition because you don't use your degree. You haven't paid us yet.
Because I don't think I should pay you back for my tuition.
But you signed a contract. Allow me to go to the stream and I will pay your tuition back fully. Full tuition back.
I signed that contract as a joke.
No, there's no...
How the fuck do you... No. Yo, I ain't gonna lie, that's a crazy defense. I signed the contract as a joke. Like, let that sink in for a second. I signed the legally binding contract with my own parents, which is insane. That you wouldn't even need to sign a contract with your parents on anything. I did that shit for shits and giggles. I'm not gonna lie, Emily, you got it, bruh. I'm not gonna lie, you got it. I would love, Emily, deadass, I'm so serious. I would love to meet you one day, Emily, and actually genuinely ask you, why did you sign a contract for fun? Signed a contract for fun. That's so crazy. Emily, bro, come on, bro. You gotta lock in, Emily.
Joke. Contract is contract. How come contract becomes a joke?
When mommy asked for the first payment, I was like, wait, you're serious?
Well, we can use that to see you in the court.
What?
Yeah.
Literally, you just gave me a piece of notebook paper, and then you're like, just sign
Doesn't
here.
matter what kind of paper it is.
Now, this is where this situation gets really gray, and I don't know their family dynamic, but even here, this conversation seems jovial and playful, etc., etc. However, from my situation doing research on this video, they bring it up quite often, even if it's in a jokey manner. But a contract on a piece of paper, these people act as if this is the most legally binding things. And why are we having these types of conversations about parents rights and children and stuff like that. Now, she did ultimately agree, so your word is your word. I get that. But putting this much pressure on your child to pay you back is weird. And also allowed to stream. These words that are being used in this conversation to me are kind of wild. At this point, she's a grown adult. Now, if she's dependent on them, that's a whole different conversation and story. I can't vouch for you, Emily. You got to do what you got to do, and that means you got to play ball sometimes. But ultimately, in this conversation, how can you allow your child to do something that they desire to do? That's something that I don't get. Whether they use the degree or not shouldn't be a contingency on if you had to get paid back. If you felt as if the right thing for them to do was get paid back, or if you felt the right thing for your child to do was pay you back, it shouldn't matter if they use that piece of paper.
Mom, do you think it's a waste that I went to college?
That is a really good question. I spent a lot of money on that, and then you become a streamer.
But I'm paying you back for college.
Yes, that's unnecessary. Yeah, we're almost broke.
Damn. That's either she's capping or why would you cap about being broke? But if they're almost broke and you tell me you just can't pay them back, I mean, I can't pocket watch her. But you gotta be able to give out something a little bit more than 10K.
Because you went to the college. Mm-hmm. The expensive one.
Short answer is yes. You wasted college. Sweetheart.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to touch on this concept a little bit later in the video, but ultimately, I don't like some of the way that these conversations are being had on camera. It seems like there's a bigger dynamic that goes on behind the scenes that should probably be best left off the internet. But hey, it's the internet. It is what it is. You almost going broke to send your child to Columbia doesn't get any sympathy out of me. You probably should have chose better schools. And I've seen comments that say, oh, well, who's to say Emily didn't want to go to Columbia? She didn't want to go to these private schools and her parents just sent her there and they were just trying to appease their child. That's the problem. You're trying to play into this 17-year-old, 18-year-old fantasy of saying, I want to go to these Ivy League schools. If it's not within your budget, if you can't do it without not needing the money to be back in your pockets, hell, if you almost go broke sending your kid to college, then you need to do something different. And I may be speaking from a different perspective because I was able to get a computer science degree under my own merit with my own money, my own backing. I got it through scholarships, whatever loans I needed to put together, but I did it on my own. I didn't have the luxury of having my parents front this extreme amount of money to get me to some Ivy League school. But
facts. But I don't think what they should have done different was pick a different fucking school. Why the fuck is she going to Ivy League?
My parents set the standard in my house that they weren't paying for college, especially that type of money. Why? Because they weren't gonna be on the hook for something like that. And they damn sure weren't gonna be expecting that amount of money back from their kids if they paid it off. At that point, it's nasty. And I also think that it's nasty because this is all contingent on her using the degree or not. If she was using the degree, they wouldn't be asking for this money. But the fact that she's using it means that you have to pay it back. Now, I specifically sought out the response of creators like Jason the Ween just because of their experience. And I'm talking about the Asian American, the immigrant to American pipeline experience, to see what they would have to say before I explain why I think that this is a little bit of tiger parenting going on.
I don't know her parents more than her. But based off the clips, I'm like, if you a millionaire, me personally, I would pay off the debt still. But, we all different people.
Now, this is where I feel like I'm going to lose some people. Jason uses some very choice verbiage here, and maybe I'm overanalyzing it. All this is very parasocial at this point. I agree with his ultimate sentiments, though, of I don't really know them, and I would pay my parents back. But he uses the word debt. I would pay back the debt. How can you be in debt to your parents? Especially because the obligation only relies on what you do in life or how much money you specifically make. If she was supposed to be indebted to her parents, it wouldn't be based off of what outcome or what career path she ultimately chooses. It would just be a general indebtedness towards her parents. And I believe that Emily, just like a lot of people, want to do better for their parents, want to provide for them or give the things that they don't have. And ultimately, any chance that they get, they would give to them, which she does. She talked about paying for trips to Cancun and paying for other lavish gifts.
My parents are overall really happy and think I'm a good daughter. They were very happy that I bought Cancun for them.
But this idea to me that you owe somebody something even though you were brought into this world without any choice of yours doesn't make too much sense to me.
I disagree a little bit. The only way I would agree with this is if she did not want to go to Ivy League. If The streamer did not want to go to Ivy League. I'm not gonna lie, you beat me 4-2. You're going on to the next round. But if she was completely fine with going to Ivy League, had a plan with that degree, I'm not gonna lie, Omar, I'm not gonna lie, you're cooked if that's the case. Like, bro, like, I don't know, Omar, like, you just said, like, I don't know, you did lose me towards this part right here. And you can definitely be in debt with your parents. I don't know what you're talking about. You can definitely owe your money. You could definitely owe money to your parents. Because there's just some things that they just do not have to do for you. Like if you two agree on something, like for an example, if you were to agree, the child were to agree with the parent, child says, I will pay for this if X, Y, and Z happens. Like there's a whole agreement that goes into big purchases like this. Apparently that agreement was, if you make it as a streamer, pay us back. If you don't and you actually use our degree, then our money was worth it. We put $170,000 into you and now we're getting dividends off of it. But we didn't pay you $170 to be something else and for you to not even use it, because that's a whole waste of $170. Like, stuff like this has been talked about way before she even stepped through the college front door. So I disagree. I disagree.
I'm gonna have to disagree. Now I can admit her verbiage is
You can
nasty,
definitely owe your parents
talking
something.
about how she doesn't want to do it. It's out of spite. She just changed her mind. That is where I draw the line. Like, there's no need to talk to your parents like that. But then on the other side, her parents seem a little bit greedy, because how can you expect and accept all these lavish gifts, facial, spa days, you know, all these other treatments, and then still be holding over her head this ultimate debt that she has to pay back to them, and it's only contingent if you are doing this thing called streaming. And I'm definitely not going to tell her how to use her money. She definitely has the funds to do it. But you can't accept this and then also be expecting that. Isn't that looking the gift horse in the mouth, or whatever that old adage is? Imagine being on a beach in Cancun and you just got flown out first class on the trip, and you know, you got your little mask on and you're sitting next to your daughter. You got these people rubbing on your feet and all this stuff like that, and you turn to her and say, hey, you still owe me that $50 from when I helped you get those groceries that one time, as you're sitting on the trip that she paid for. Is that not brain dead? Now what I
ain't gonna lie, I would be the type of person. Actually, no, yes, I would. Actually, no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. That is crazy. That is crazy. I wouldn't do that. I'm not that type of person. But
feel as if there are more layers to this. I don't think that it's just about the money. They seem to be okay. I hated that sentiment of almost went broke. Even where they sit in that big house with their $1 million daughter, we're going on trips and everything like that. These people are financially okay. There's a bigger dynamic here, and I think that there are elements of tiger parenting, which I think that is something that plagues the immigrant community, specifically the Asian American community.
Besides just the way I looked, a lot of other cultural differences. Like, I had a tiger mom. My mom never let me do anything. I was like restricted to staying in my 10-mile radius small town unless I was going with an adult. My curfew was like 10:30. I had a shower curfew. I need to take a shower by a certain time before I went to bed. I've never heard of that before, shower curfew. I had so many.
That just sounds like well, first of all, I never heard of shower curfew, but there was always a time where you were supposed to take your shower before you went to bed. What the fuck are we talking about? Like, is this, did I have tiger parents growing up or something? Because this is not different. This is usual shit. I couldn't go outside of a 10-mile radius. Why would you need to go, first of all, if I was taking care of a child that wasn't 18, where do you need to go that's outside of the city that you live in? That I'm not going with you. Like, that's just regular parent shit. Like, what are tiger parents? Because it sounds like parents that are just they're just regular. It just sounds like regular parenting. It doesn't sound like it's something that needs a whole nother subtitle to it.
Rules. Tiger parenting is a term coined by Asian American author Amy Chua that describes these very, very strict, rigid, and almost abusive in nature parenting styles that seem to plague the Asian community, but also it's something that I find that a lot of immigrants experience when they are in America. It's a different style of parenting.
What I just heard was not restrictive, was not harsh at all. That's just regular parenting.
Western parenting. It's very strict. It's very no nonsense. It's very I'm on you about being the best you that you can be. Perfect. And it can't go overboard. Now, I don't think that this is that situation, but some of the verbiage that is brought up, some of the thought processes and ideology and the decision making screams tiger parenting to me. I've preached it over and over again, but why is the repayment based off of the career path that she ultimately chose? If the success of your child is the ultimate goal, it doesn't matter if they make the most money juggling balls or in banking at Chase Bank. If they're successful, that's all that should matter.
It does matter, but what also matters is the 170 that they put in is now completely wasted. It's at zero. Because the 170 that they put in, they wanted her to do something else. She's not doing that. So now that's zero out of 170 that they're not getting a ROI. They're not getting return on their investment. Damn, I am so in tune with this. Holy shit.
2, giving should be a selfless act. What people do with what you give them and what you expect in return should not even be on the forefront of your tongue. 3, I'm sorry, she's a child. She shouldn't be able to make the decision to send herself to Columbia. That shouldn't even be on her radar. I don't understand why she was allowed to say I want to go to this Ivy League school and have it be paid out of pocket at the age of 17. That seems dumb to me. And 4, the reason why I really believe there's some elements of tiger parenting in this is because how does a child from Omaha even get the idea of Columbia in their head to go to school and get into finance banking? I'm not saying that young women don't aspire for this career path and not saying that it's the most wildest thing in the world, but I'm gonna be honest with you, this is one of the more wilder things in the world. The obligation and the constant pushing of the debt repayment from the parents while consuming the lavish lifestyle and the rewards that their child has gotten from a whole different industry screams to me tiger parenting.
I grew up with a tiger mom, a tiger dad, and essentially I grew up with a tiger family. They were super strict. They never let me have any fun. I had to excel in everything that I did, but also having tiger parents, my parents never praised me. They never gave me gratitude when I did something good or I succeeded at something that they pushed me to do. Not to mention how emotionally unavailable my parents were towards me. That has now grown into my adulthood, and I am trying to fix that. I was their American dream. Me going to school and me excelling in these things, they banked on that. That was their American dream.
Now look, this whole conversation is parasocial as fuck, and I think tiger parenting is a pretty aggressive title to put on somebody. So I don't want to say that Emily's parents are full-fledged tiger parents, but I do believe that there are elements of tiger parenting in this conversation that's being had, especially the fact that they're still benefiting from her and her successful career while still seemingly demanding that she pay back this loan. I just think that it's nasty that the internet is making her feel some sort of way for the complexities of their relationship. Now granted, she should not talk this nastily about the situation, and all of this is basically for clicks and clout. We know that. But at the end of the day, parents shouldn't look at their kids as some sort of retirement plan. They shouldn't look at their kids as some sort of get out of poverty card. They should be able to take ownership and control of their own actions and their destiny. And ultimately, if you build a great relationship with your children, it should not be any conversation about taking care of or paying back or being a part of each other's life. If you do a good job at parenting, 10 times out of 10, your child is going to want to give to you naturally. Get out of these people's pockets at the end of the day, man. I stop talking about it.
This is one of my favorite videos that I've watched in a very long time. Omeezy, shout out to you. You dropped a fire ass video. But now here's what I gotta say. I like how open-ended this whole conversation can be. Now, here's the one part we don't know. What type of parents does she have growing up? If they're tiger parents and they ultimately decided that she was going to Ivy League, there was nothing she could have done about it. You're going to Ivy League, we're taking you, don't even worry about it. Then I do feel like Emily should not be paying any money. I do think that she possibly told her parents, hey, this is not what I want to do, so don't even invest into this. They probably said they're going to do it anyway, and they invested into it. Or Emily did want to go to Ivy League school, did want to go to the higher end schools, and that if that's the case, then I stand by what I said for majority of this video. She does need to pay them back in full, in my opinion. But I don't know what her situation is financially, so I don't know how long or whatever. But one thing that is for sure, parents are crazy for even contractually for making her sign a contract, bro. You are her parents. Why are you putting a contract under somebody? That's just insane. But everything else is just kind of dependent on whether or not if the parents were pushing for Ivy League or if it was Emily. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Follow me on all platforms. I'm posting every single day on each and every single platform. Hopefully this is still alive when I post this video. But yes, thank you so much for watching. We're on the road to 10K. Subscribe. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we're streaming. And yeah, I'll see you boys later.